What I want to start out with, Frank, is first I want to thank you for being here with us.
Of course.
You know, obviously, you're a busy man. You're like in everything on social media that I see, you're in a million places at once. I see you at so many different companies. I'm like, you have to have some sort of teleportation device, you know? I'm like, can you speak upon, you know, like how busy you are right now post UTSA?
Honestly, you know, even during season while I was playing football, I literally was busy all the time, like always busy. You know, Coach O said your greatest strength is your greatest weakness. And mine is I'm just so nice. I just never can say no. So, you know, Coach tells me, my parents tell me, like, eventually you gotta start telling people you can't do it. I'm like, I'm just gonna keep doing it, you know, till I don't know when. And then like you don't get burnt out. But I just enjoy doing stuff, you know, for people. Even something like this. I mean, I wasn't doing nothing this morning. I don't know if I was gonna sleep in maybe a little bit, but you know, like it's nothing. It's not affecting me to come out here and do this for y'all. Speak a little bit about, you know, my experiences and stuff like that. So I really enjoy it. However I can help people and talking to people, kind of sharing my story, trying to help people out, and I just enjoy doing what I really do.
Yeah, and you know, we really love having you. And I have to also say that when it comes to, you know, G5 football, you don't get a lot of QBs like you around a lot. So like, you know, not everybody's coming in setting records for, you know, a university and the program, and you know, it's just fantastic. We wanted to have you. I brought up this idea a long time. I wanted to have you. I was like, as soon as we can do this, I want to do this, because no other, from what I understand, there's no other G5 QB has done like a sit-down interview post-season. They usually just go straight to the next level, and they don't really talk about much about their college career, but their stats speak for themselves, you know, specifically like Kellen Moore and et cetera. So I thought that this would be a really awesome opportunity to hear you speak upon your football experiences. Sure. So going off of that, I just want, you know, reflecting off your time at UTSA, you started with Coach Wilson and ended with Coach Traylor. Can you speak upon like the drastic change, obviously, that came about in that athletic program?
I'm forever in debt to Coach Wilson. You know, my senior year, when I already committed to UTSA, I tore my ACL, and he honored my scholarship then. I come in UTSA, I think it was I redshirted, come back that next year. I was like the starter for like 3 days, tear my other ACL, honor my scholarship still. And I always told him I'm forever in debt to you, because you know, you could have easily treated me differently, taken me out of a scholarship. I tore my ACL twice. You know what I mean? That's and with one coach. So he seen me tear the high school and then come there, beat a guy for 3 days, and then tear it again. And he just kept me on scholarship. You know, kept me around the guys. So that was pretty special. Then you know, we didn't win many games during that time. You know, we were going through a rebuilding phase. So I've got to experience both sides. You know, not really winning, nobody in Alamo Dome. Not getting any recognition in the city from UTSA, to Coach Traylor coming in, winning lots of games, 2 back-to-back conference championships, and the city on fire, you know, about UTSA. So it was just pretty cool, pretty special, humbling experience from both sides. Great career to witness both aspects of it in that sense, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
So. We talked about this, you know, before the camera started, but you spoke upon Vince Young being, you know, one of your biggest, you know, QB idols. Was there also any? I'm sure you had multiple growing up.
You know, growing up, I literally could recall the whole Rose Bowl, the 06 Rose Bowl from the 05 season with Vince Young and Reggie Bush. I mean, I fell in love. I was literally like, I'm going to UT. I'm playing quarterback. I'm gonna be number 10. Vince Young, I'm gonna be that. I'm gonna be just like him. And then, you know, I was a big Vince Young fan, and of course, you know, Michael Vick. So, just watching greats growing up that kind of inspired you. That's kind of where it led me, especially Michael Vick wearing number 7. He was a left-handed guy. He could run the ball, throw the ball. I'm modeling my game just after him. I mean, I want to be able to have defenses struggling, trying to defend me. You know, you take away my run game, I'm going to pass. You take away my pass, I'm running. So I just kind of modeled my game after him as well. And, you know, I just as much as I can imitate him growing up, that's what I did.
So many great QBs that have gone through college through the years, and no doubt that you are definitely one of the many. Because not many quarterbacks can come in and just put up insane numbers like you do. I can't even tell how many records you've broken, Frank.
It took a while, though. Those first couple seasons were tough for me personally and, for the team. So it wasn't always, breaking records, being a guy. I'm sure some of the fans probably didn't want me to be the guy after the first couple seasons, first couple games. But, that's just what it is, with sports, just sticking with it and, battling through that adversity.
And so, going into that, within the program, Coach Traylor started the single-digit process. And I was just wondering, what does it mean to players and what does it mean to the coaching staff as well? Because players is one thing, voting for the player to get it. But for coaches, too, that are not, Coach Traylor, how do they also idolize it as well? Because it's an interesting aspect I don't think a lot of people talk about sometimes.
Yeah, I remember at first, he brought the idea up, and we all like, that sounds like little kid stuff. But in my head, as long as I get 7, I'm good. I'm not even worried about it. And I'll never forget, I was laying down just hanging out, and Coach Traylor called me. He was like, hey, you've been voted into the single digit on the area code, 210. Which one you want to be? I'm like, neither. None of them. I'm number 7.
Yeah.
That's good. He was like, nah, but I really want you to be the 210. I'm like, Coach, I've been number 7 my whole life, and I'm not changing my number. He was like, all right, call me back. You sure you don't want to be in 210? I'm like, Coach, I'm good. Like I told you, I'm number 7. It's all right. So then I thought about it. I'm like, changing my number, because at that time I was number 6 when I first got here, because Kerry Thomas was number 7. He was an older guy. So then whenever he left, I got to number 7. And then now you want me to change my number again to 0 or 2 or 1? I'm like, no. My parents got jerseys made again. They was already mad at me. They had to switch. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
So then he keep talking to me. I'm like, all right, you know what? I'll be number 0. It's the first year ever you can be number 0.
Yeah.
If I'm going to change my number, I'll be a number nobody's ever had. Kind of try to start my own legacy, that way. And he's like, okay, let's do that. Then he called me back. Actually, you can't be 0. Rashad Wilson 0. I'm like, Coach, no. I'm telling you right now, I'm number 0. Tell Rashad to be 2 or 1. I'm number 0. That's like little bro. He gonna have to figure it out.
Yeah.
And well, can y'all figure it out? I call Rashad, bro. You gonna have to be number 2 or 1. I'm number 0. He like, bro, no, bro. I'm number 0. I already told him. So I'm like, bro, Coach, I'm not changing my number to 2 or 1. So we're gonna have to figure something out. Then he called me back. He was like, hey, you think y'all want to double up? I'm like, what you mean? He was like, well, y'all both could be number 0 because you're on offense, he on defense, and you're not on any special teams. So y'all both could be 0. So I called Shaw back. I'm like, hey, you want to double up? Be both 0s? He was like, yeah, let's do it. I called Coach hey, we both in, 2 0s. And, the rest is history. So it was pretty cool, pretty special. It's kind of crazy. I don't know how people get me and him confused. You see how bad built he is? That is so.
He's a big dude.
Yes, he is. Just 5'6", a bowling ball. He does not look like me. Why is everybody confused what 0s is what? Nah, but I love being 0 with him. And, it was a cool, special thing. Coach Traylor eventually was trying to get rid of, voting in the single digits. And, we went back and told him, we actually enjoy it. It's pretty special. Guys go out there, spring ball and all those things and go fight for those single digits. And it means a lot, if you represent, you wear one of those numbers, especially 2 or 1 or 0. The coaching staff as well. So we don't take that lightly. If you see one of those guys in the single digit, they're just held to a higher standard, especially the area code 2 or 1 or 0. So it's going to be something that Coach Traylor probably going to carry on for the rest of his life.
Yeah, and even, the turnover triangle y'all have too. Y'all didn't have that before either. It's a pretty new trend that defense is starting to have as well. So I thought that would be pretty cool that they implemented on the sidelines.
Yeah, that's defensive
stuff.
Yeah,
no, absolutely.
But somebody created that for us. It was pretty cool. He kind of just made it, came up with the idea to Coach Traylor. He kind of told us about it. We fell in love with it, and we were like, man, we love it. So defense, they go crazy over it.
So let's travel back in time a little bit to before you committed to UTSA. What was your recruiting process like for you? Was it would you say it's like the same, and how different would it be between now and before the NIL era?
Oh man, it's crazy how it is nowadays. I mean, it's insane, and there's just no loyalty, you know. And I know when I was getting recruited, you know, my dad told me, once you commit somewhere, you ain't going nowhere else. You better hope and pray wherever you go. That better be the place. So I'll never forget one time I was thinking about it for a while, and randomly I told my parents, I'm going to UTSA. They was like, what made you come up with this decision? I just thought about it, prayed about it. I just feel like it's best for me. My dad said, okay, keep that between us. You make this public, you not decommitting, so you better hope. You know, you stick to your word. And ever since then, you know, I was just big on loyalty, you know, in a sense like that. So, you know, nowadays, NIL, people don't even know when NIL first came out, I wasn't getting nothing. I ain't getting no NIL deals. And I just kept my head down, played, didn't really say much, won a conference championship, still didn't really get money. But that's not why you go play college football. You go for the education and play football. And everything else take care of itself. You know, I was fortunate enough to come back that next year, and I was very blessed with NIL. So it's just crazy nowadays. You know, kids just worry about that too much, and that's not why you come play college football. You take care of that, take care of your classwork, everything else take care of itself. And you know, I was a firm believer in that, and I was fortunate enough to go out there and you know, receive the benefits.
Yeah, because you were getting closely looked at by Texas State, from what I understand, correct?
Back in high school?
Back in high school.
Yeah, so I narrowed it down to UTSA and Texas State. I really wanted to go far. My parents was like, you go far, I don't know if we're going to be able to come see you play. And I'm like, yeah, about that. I told all the far schools, like, I don't know if I can leave too far. They came down to Texas State and UTSA, and I talked to, you know, a lot of the guys like, you know, Jarvion, kind of like a family friend, been knowing him since I was a little kid.
Of course.
Asked him how he liked his experience at UTSA. Brandon Armstrong, kind of the OGs that I knew since I was a little kid. Asked them how they enjoyed it at UTSA, and they said they enjoyed it. Never went to San Marcos, so I was like, man, it would be pretty cool to live somewhere, probably like San Marcos area. So I really thought about it, but I just felt home, you know, at UTSA. So I was like, man, I'm just gonna go down the road. And growing up, you know, we never went to that side of town. So, I mean, I went over there. I'm using GPS like everybody else. You know, everybody think I'm from over there. I'm not from over there. I'm from 30 minutes away. And if you're from over where I'm from, we don't go. Yeah. We don't pass. We don't even get to Stone Oak. You don't pass Rolling Oaks Mall. Yeah. Like, you don't go that far. So I went over there, and it was like a whole nother world. So it was like pretty cool, but I'm only 30 minutes away, so all my family and friends are still close, but it's a whole nother world to where I'm experiencing everything like a new college student would.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you talked about, you know, you sat and you thought about it, put thought into it, put prayers into it, but ultimately, like, what would you say the determining factor was for going to UTSA?
You know, during the recruiting process, somebody told me, I forgot who it was, they told me, you know, don't go to a school for coaches. Go to a university to where if you were to never play your sport again, you can still attend. And, you know, that hit hard to me. You know, coaches come and go all the time. So Frank Selfo, who was recruiting me, was a big part of it as well. Coach Wilson, of course. But just UTSA as a whole, like I said, it was close to home. I just felt like if I wanted to play football again, I just love the culture at UTSA. It was very diverse. And it was growing, so I enjoyed everything about it. It had a small college vibe, but then also a big college vibe. You kind of get both. Some classes might be 30 people, like a little high school. Some is 300, like a big university. So you got a good vibe in that sense. And like I said, I was close to my family, and I just prayed about it. And you know, what better place to go than a building program from, you know, I think I came, it wasn't even a 10-year program yet. So everything was still new, and I wanted to be a part of something special, and fortunate I was.
Yeah, and you know, I have to say, like, speaking upon the city of San Antonio, it's one of the fastest growing cities in the country, but again, it feels like one of the smallest because you just know everybody. Everybody know everybody, and somebody knows somebody who can help you with something. 100%. Yeah, and so I just, you know, that's really awesome that you speak upon the city like that because I feel like it's not said enough. You know, and it's one of the fastest growing cities, again, in the country. So But to go back, to your recruiting process, Frank Wilson, or Coach Wilson, was a big factor in your recruiting process. What was your reaction when he got let go?
I only played my first 2 seasons. I didn't play at all. My third year, I played 3 games. Started the 4th game. Got hurt, had shoulder surgery. So I only played under him, for 3 games. So he had 3 seasons already, and like I said, when you get recruited, you don't go to university for your coach. And at that time, I was hurt, so I wasn't playing anyway. So, whenever we got let go, it was just one of those things like, it's part of the business, so to speak. We didn't know who we were gonna get, so everybody was kind of like, what are we doing? We gonna transfer? And I know my mama told me, like, you're not going nowhere. You finna graduate first, then you can do whatever you want to do. But you finna graduate. I'm like, what you talking about? Like, what if, you better figure it out, but you're not going nowhere because you're gonna lose credits. I'm like, man. So I remember, I think it was Pete Golden in the running, Graham Harrell, which I had a relationship with him, of course. Back, like I said, big UT fan. I knew he was a quarterback at Tech, Michael Crabtree. Knew him. He was at North Texas, so he recruited him at North Texas. And then Pete Golden was, the DC whenever I was a freshman at UTSA. So I'm trying to get at least one of them. I'm trying to make sure the head coach my mama told me I ain't leaving, so I better make sure whoever next guy here, I know. And, they said Jeff Traylor. Jeff Traylor. Who is Jeff Traylor? Like, who is this guy? He look corny, like, this dude is not finna come here and take us to the promised land. Like, and I was just like, man, let's just give him a chance. Everybody like, bro, a chance, like. So, he was at Arkansas. I hit like Rakeem Boyd up. I hit somebody else up, a tight end, forgot his name. And somebody else that used to play with me was at Arkansas with him. So I hit him up, and everybody spoke very highly of him. They spoke highly of him, Coach Lunny, all the coaching, G-Buck. I'm like, y'all sure? Like, nah, I'll tell you, you're gonna love him. I'm like, I don't know. So in the first interview he had, I went down there to the Dome, heard him speak, talked to him. And the rest is history.
Yeah. He definitely seemed an interesting guy coming in.
Oh, 100%.
I'm sure there was many candidates that UTSA could have hired, but.
And I'm like, who is this guy? And I go to Dr. Campos, like, Dr. Campos, we ain't want to go get Pete Golden or like Graham Harrell, we want to get somebody else. She like, trust me, like, y'all are going to love him. Like, I promise you will. And then I'll never forget, shoot, everybody I'm loving, I go to Dr. Campos, like, you was right, we love Coach Traylor, like, we can never get rid of him. So it was a pretty cool experience, though.
Yeah, that first press conference, he brought that aura of energy, and he's like, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this.
Yep.
And so, I remember when I was in a class with a bunch of football players during the transition of Wilson leaving and Traylor coming in. Some of them were like, man, this dude's coming in. He thinks he's the next Nick Saban.
He came in at our meeting, he had his little jacket on, his little, his pants and his boots. Everybody, we all sitting there like, listen to him talk like nobody, we don't want you here for real. Like, who are you? Everybody kind of slouched down. I'm just trying to give him a chance. I don't know the guy. Everybody spoke highly of him. So, eventually, Coach always says trust is truth over time. Eventually, everybody started opening up to him, started trusting him. And then, now everybody run through a brick wall for the guy. So it was a great hire for us, and we just pray we could keep him around.
Yeah, and Coach Wilson and Coach Traylor, they've really set the foundation.
For sure.
Along with Coach Coker as well.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Set the foundation of this program, and now it's growing to be one of the fastest growing G5 programs in the country. And so with the new facilities opening up, like, you weren't even there for that. And so you were just going along, and now all this stuff is coming out from different athletic departments for, soccer and future basketball, volleyball.
It's crazy.
And it's insane. So it's just the growing.
It's going to keep going, too.
Yeah, the growing. And so, back to Coach Wilson, getting let go. How did you find out? Was this a social media? Was this a locker room meeting? Was this?
It was a text message, urgent team meeting. Get here in the next, 30 minutes. I'm like, what? I'm at my parents' house. My parents live like an hour away. I can't come. I got the combos like Dr. Combos. I can't come to the team meeting. Is that okay? She was like, yeah, that's fine. Just, just let somebody tell you what the news is. So I call one of my teammates. I think I'm on I'm either on FaceTime or a regular phone call, and I'm just sitting through it, during like that. And it transpired, that way. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's, one of the many ways athletes find out sometimes is like, just it's all virtual.
Yeah,
nowadays.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
But, when it happened, did you ever say anything to the team to keep the morale going? Or, was there somebody that was just so outspoken, he rallied you and a bunch of other teammates as well?
Like I said, that first 2 seasons I didn't play at all. In my 3rd year, after that season, Coach Woods got let go, so I only played in 3 games. So it really wasn't even my team, so to speak. I mean, it was, but it really wasn't. So I'm not going, and I'm not a hoorah guy anyways. I don't really say too much to begin with. Yeah. It's not really who I am and how I lead. Yeah. So I didn't really say much. I just told everybody just to give him a chance. Like, we don't know how he is. I don't know him neither, but let's just see how he is. Like, if he's not good, like, okay, we could say he's not good, but we judging him already and we don't even know him. That's not fair to him, So I was trying to just keep guys kind of calm and let's just figure them out first before we start saying stuff that we don't even know about. So that's really all I was doing.
Absolutely. Well, so with that, what was your first meeting like with Jeff Traylor? Was it like ecstatic? Man. Was it like so melatonin? Or?
Yeah, so he called, he said, I actually got my phone go off one day, like a phone call. I'm like, hello? He like, it's Jeff Traylor. I'm like, and what's up? Like, what you calling me for? We talked over the phone like that. Then, running backs coach called me. All the coaches just start calling you and stuff. But it was a weird process because I was during COVID, or right before COVID really hit. So it was kind of weird. Everything was kind of virtual. Wouldn't really happen. And we meeting over Zooms, and so you're not really knowing. You don't really know them. Kind of just talking to them, but you don't really know them. And I think he said, all the guys coming in, I want to meet with everybody, and I want y'all to tell me the stuff that's going on good at this program, stuff that needs to improve, stuff we need to get rid of. I come in there and we had our talk and we spoke for a while. I felt like he was a genuine guy, but like I said, I just needed to fill him out. But I think everybody respected him just by how he was. He's a player's coach, and we kind of understood that kind of right away. But it was a good time, when we first met.
Post UTSA college football, you recently took up a role in 210 City Fans. Can you speak upon that a little bit more in depth?
Yeah. Okay. So our main focus is to help out the student athletes. My company pays, I think, like 47 football athletes right now. I think we raise we give about a year $300,000 just for football. And last year we had a football luncheon, get tables, sponsorship tables from different companies, and all those proceeds, goes directly to the football team. This year we're gonna have another one. That was our first one last year. We had like over 850 people there, so it was a great event. We were anticipating like over 1,000 people. And then we're gonna branch off and do men's and women's basketball, and then we're gonna have a golf event. Those proceeds will go to softball and baseball team, and all we're trying to do is get sponsorships. Whether you buy a table or you buy a team, and everything that we raise, goes directly to that team. So we're just trying to help out student athletes. I was there before NIL, so I know how it is not receiving nothing, and I also know how fortunate it could be because I was fortunate enough to get, NIL benefits. So we're just trying to serve that role and help student athletes a little bit. I know for a fact I have teammates with families, 2 kids, and trying to have a car. So trying to pay those bills, and these are the ways that we can help. And in order for them to receive those benefits, they have to do something in a nonprofit role, whether that's serve at the food bank, something in that aspect. So, and we're not giving guys millions of dollars. Like nobody getting millions. Like ain't nobody getting thousands of dollars. We just trying to help them like I said, pay for a phone, pay for car insurance, help out their family. So I think that's kind of the misconception. We don't have those funds at UTSA, and if we did, we're not paying that anyways. Yeah. Coach Traylor, we wouldn't even do that anyways. So I just think it's kind of a misconception. We're just trying to help them be a little bit more comfortable, but they're definitely gonna work forward, and we're just trying to do it in that manner.
No, yeah, absolutely. That's fantastic work y'all are doing. I see it all over social media. Y'all are moving the meter for sure. Definitely way more than when NIL first started.
Yeah.
For sure. And, with that, I'd like to say, what are your expectations for UTSA football going forward, beyond, now?
Oh, the sky's the limit. I'm excited for it. Like you said, I was there. I was at UTSA before the race was built. I was at UTSA before one of the dorms was built. I was at UTSA before a lot of stuff really went on. Mm-hmm. So just seeing it grow from when I was there to now, mm-hmm. and how much it's grown, I mean, just imagine another 5-10 years from now, mm-hmm. what it'll be like. Changing conferences. That was our first year in it. I don't know how it's going to be, 10 years from now, 5-10 years from now, but just to see the level of growth, I mean, the sky honestly is the limit. And it's going to happen right in front of our eyes. We got to just, enjoy it while we can. Enjoy the small town, the small school, whatever we want to call it, because eventually it's going to blow up before we know it. And we're going to be like, dang, I miss being able to this, and this. Like everybody talking about the parking. Like, man, whenever I first got there, parking wasn't a problem. Like, it wasn't a problem. Yeah. Now, parking crazy. But we want to get to a big university. Hey, I think it's parking at these other schools. Like, yeah, if you want to park, you probably going to have to park far. But that's probably how it is at these big universities. So in order for us to get to that without us complaining, like that's what we're going to have to, deal with. So it's just a growing process. It's going to just keep growing, and I'm definitely excited for it.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. So, and this is, one of the last few questions I have. Did you ever consider going to coach high school, college, after football?
My high school coach, he kept on telling me, like, whenever you're done, I got a spot for you. But then Coach Traylor kind of, hinted at something as well. I don't know if I wanted to go down that road. I play football here, so I got a lot of connections with coaches in the high school role. And that's just not something that I really want to, a path I want to go down. Mm-hmm. As of right now, I'm not saying I'll never do it. Mm-hmm. But it's just so much more life than just football. And I've been playing football since I was 5. So just getting away from the game, like I enjoy getting away from the game. Like I get to go golf. Mm-hmm. I get to go travel. Like I get to do stuff, so to speak, that I really wasn't able to fully enjoy because I was with football my whole life. Like now I get to go hang out and do stuff and go to the rodeo. Absolutely. And have a blast. Yeah. I get to go to country concerts and have a blast. Just little things like that that I really enjoy doing outside of football. Football is just a small portion of my life. And, I just want to enjoy my life right now. And that's not anything with football. I love helping out. Like I said, doing what I'm doing now, I solely enjoy that. Will I go out there and watch practice? For sure. Mm-hmm. Would I try to tell Owen, Eddie, or the other quarterbacks some hints? Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I don't want to be solely invested in football as of now. But we'll see where it takes me.
Coming off of that, there's always athletes. I always hear athletes talk about it, and no matter what sport it is, there's like post-college athlete fatigue, where it's like you're in this rhythm of, oh, I gotta get up for practice. I'm used to getting up early. I gotta eat this, eat that. And then after you graduate or go to the next level, it's just like, after you graduate, they don't do it anymore. No doubt. So there's just like a little emptiness of just like getting used to not doing it for so long, because you do it since high school, really. Yeah. And even middle school too. So it's like you're out of the rhythm of not playing the game you love so much anymore. So
yeah, it's one. Let me just say this. I don't like lifting weights to begin with. It was always a headache for me to lift weights, especially during the season. My body is all messed up, and I'm like, I play quarterback. I don't gotta lift these much weights. Like I just don't, or at least I feel like I didn't. Mm-hmm. Strength coach, yeah, you do, yeah, whatever. So, I messed my shoulder up versus Tulane at the end of the year. So I ain't lift, really wasn't lifting that much to begin with. So I ain't lift from Tulane until I think Monday was my first time lifting. So that was a long spread. And like you said, I'm so used to doing it all the time. Well, now I don't have to do it. I don't gotta go lift. I don't have a set workout time. But it's easy to fall back and be like, I'm glad I don't have to do those things. But it's you just so conditioned to do it that like I wake up for work early. Like I'm one of the first in the office because I'm so used to being up early for football practice. It's just like second nature to just wake up early and to go to the office, so to speak, as a facility, and be that guy that was always one of the first ones in. So, yeah, I get what you're saying, but then also I'm fortunate enough to for the position that I am in, I'm still around the team like often. I'm always up at the race, hanging out with the guys where they lift weights or talking with Coach Traylor. So I have a fortunate position that I'm still around the game, just not coaching wise, but I'm still around to where I don't really miss it to the extreme. Like they see me all the time, but it ain't like, oh Frank, I ain't see you know what? And they just see me like yesterday. I'm finna go up to the basketball game, in a little bit. I mean, those guys see me all the time too. I'm in the training room all the time still. So it's just a pretty cool little gig that I have that I'm still around doing what I love.
So the NCAA video game's coming out this summer, and I really would like to get your input on like what tradition would you like EA to put in for UTSA in the video game that you feel is necessary?
What you mean tradition?
Like something that that UTSA fans do or the band does.
They definitely got to have something to where whenever the opposing team is on offense, they got to get some type of false starts, delay a game, something like that.
The Alamo Dome environment.
Oh yeah, 100%. We got to have something with the Alamo Dome included. So I definitely would say that. That'd be pretty cool.